Subject of adding to the team, we're very fortunate to be joined here in the studio by both Alec and Ben, and there's only one thing better than two goalkeeping greats, and that's three. So joining us now, a Brazilian international who started his career in Europe with PSV. He then spent 6 years at Tottenham before signing for Watford back in 2014. He is, of course, Heurelho Gomes. We've got Ben Foster and Alec Chamberlain in the studio here, smiling ear to ear, seeing your face on that screen. Ben, I bet it's nice, isn't it? Being reunited virtually.
Yes, legends.
He looks slim. Gomi, you look nice and slim, mate. You lost it about. You look wicked, mate. You do, honestly.
I bet my belly's gone, my friend.
Can I tell him the pizza story quickly? Let me just tell him the pizza story.
It's
incredible.
Tell them.
Right, so last year, okay, right, he's good friends with Lucas Moura, okay,
yeah.
And me and Gomi would always, whenever it came to like getting body fats done or weighing ourselves, we'd always be like, oh God's sake, here we go. And then one night he went round Lucas Moura's house because they had like a pizza night or something like that, and he came in the next morning. He went, Fozzie, I'm in trouble. I was like, what? And he went, I'm 4 kilo heavier. 4?
How many pizzas did you eat?
4 kilo, incredible.
And I was 4 kilos heavy. I didn't know. I didn't know why, but I thought it was for the pizza the night before. It was so good. Yeah.
Well, whilst we've got the three of you here, we thought it would be a good time just to discuss goalkeeping as a general subject. Now, we hear about the Goalkeepers Union a lot, so just checking first up, all three of you are still paid up members?
Absolutely,
yes?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
But joking aside, it's such a unique position on the field. I mean, literally, there is only one of you out of the 11. Do you think that's what makes you so close as a unit when you're training together? Heurelho, we'll come to you first on this.
I think we need to make the job easy for each other, you know, and the respect is the first thing for us, I think. And I remember when Jean was telling me that I was going to sign a goalkeeper, I told him, bring someone that is good, very good, but also someone that will make a glue with us here, because you know it's not about to be playing. It's about the team that is most important, and I think goalkeepers think about that more than other players. Yeah. I think goalkeepers has this mentality. Oh, let's push each other. Let's try. Of course, it's up to Ben to be on his best. It's up to me. It's up to Dan to be on his best. And to show it every day. So it's difficult for goalkeepers because only one can play. And we need to respect the goalkeeper and also the decision of the manager as well.
Yeah, it's a really interesting dynamic when you think about it, because you've got these three people that all, as Heurelho said, genuinely have each other's interests at heart. But in the same breath, there is a hierarchy there. And of course, all of you want that number one shirt, Ben.
I've been so lucky, I've got to say, when I've been here at this club especially, I've been so lucky that I've had other goalkeepers at the club that have kind of really looked after me and shown me the way. Obviously, Alec, with my first stint, literally tucked me under his wing, and he was like my dad, honestly. He was like literally like my dad. He's probably old enough to be my dad, actually. But honestly, I've been so lucky, and you need those guys, honestly, to sort of help you and show you the way. And if you make a mistake, that you know that they've got your back as well. You know, there's nothing worse than playing and you know this might be somebody in the background really happy that you've made a mistake. You don't want that. You want to feel like you're looked after. Same with Gomes, you know. I know for a fact that on a Saturday afternoon, he's my biggest cheerleader. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you need from your number 2 goalie. Somebody that you know has always got your back, always going to defend you and always going to look after you.
Yeah, and I think you see an extension of that even when goalkeepers go up to each other at the end of a game as well, especially if the other one's made an error, and you'll see them put his arm round. And I suppose it's because you all share that unique understanding, Alec, as well.
We have empathy with, everybody knows what the other guy's been through.
Yeah.
So, I think the relationships within clubs are amazing with the goalkeepers. You know, we spend a lot of time training together, working hard together, but actually enjoying what we do. And I think it's when you come to the games that there's obviously a bit more pressure about, but the guy that's not playing has a big role then to play with the guy that is playing and really, like Ben says, becoming his cheerleader.
Yeah. Heurelho, I don't know how much football you're watching now that you're able to do that from the comfort of your own home. You're not out there on the pitch yourself. But I just wondered how you feel when you hear a commentator say things like, "Oh, you'd expect him to save that," or "It's a nice height." Does part of you think, "Do you want to have a try at this?"
Yeah, because they never been there, probably. Most of them never been there. So, yeah, of course, some balls you expect the goalkeeper to save it, but yeah, it's not easy work. It's not easy work. I believe, is the position that you have to be on your top every day, pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And that's make us to do less fouls, commit more, less errors than the other players, I believe, because you can see in the game, outfield players, they will make a mistake, 3, 4, 5 in the game, a pass, but we cannot make one. If you make one, it's a goal. So to say things like this is probably.
It's a fine line, isn't it, between being a hero and a villain, isn't it, when you're a goalkeeper? I think more so than any other player on the pitch, Ben.
It's what you sign up to, you know it. You know it even as a kid, and I try and steer my son away from being a goalkeeper, just because I don't want him to have to go through that. But yeah, it's exactly how it goes. I think this is why. I think goalkeepers in general are a bit different to the outfield players. They're a little bit more, like Gomi said there, you need to have a lot more empathy about you. And I think goalkeepers are built with that. And not only built with it, they learn it more throughout their career as well, because you know that if you make a mistake, it's not nice, but you don't want anybody else to make a mistake, and you want to look after them and steer them away from it as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Right, we'll be back with you three very shortly, but we mentioned there about how close as groups goalkeepers are, and they're all vying for that one starting place. Well, with Ben currently sidelined through injury, the job of keeping up Watford's excellent defensive start to the season has fallen to Daniel Bachmann. He spoke exclusively to Hive Live this week to tell us about his first start against Huddersfield and being part of this Watford goalkeeping family.
We've got Ben Foster in the studio this afternoon and Heurelho Gomes joining us as well. What a partnership you guys had, what a brotherhood that was, fully paid up members of the goalkeeping union.
Yeah, goalkeepers always have a special bond, because we're like a team in the team, because, we work separately, we're like our own little family, and, it's not always easy because, only one plays. But yeah, we've had a great relationship. Obviously, Gomi and Fozzie, they're similar age, so they really were like brothers. It was obviously great for me to work with two keepers of that stature, obviously of what they achieved in the game, and it's been a great experience for me.
Go on then, settle the debate. Who was the best at head tennis?
I mean, I think over the months we played it, towards the end, I think I was up there. I was probably most improved. Fozzie was very good on the net, a very good finisher, and Gomi's first touch was very good. So we all had our, and not to forget Stacky was very good as well. He was he's gone a bit under the radar, but he was a very good player. Now we had. It was great, great times playing head tennis. Need to do that more often when we get the time in between games. But yeah, it was great fun.
Heurelho used to use those long limbs of his, didn't he?
Yeah, his arms and legs are just something I've never seen before. He's like, it's just his body is just made of arms and legs, and he's shown that in goal, a number of times. But yeah, it's nice to see him back anyway, with Watford, and I'm sure he's following all our games as well.
Well, if it's a quiet first half, I think we can fill half time with a debate around head tennis and who's the best there. Ben Foster not happy with what he heard. A quick word on Dan, though. I suppose it comes back to that interesting dynamic we were just talking about, in that, of course, you want him to succeed, but not too much, Ben, hey? Because you want to come back into this team.
I was going to say some really nice things about him, but then he said he was better than me at head tennis, so he's dead to me. That's him done. No, finished. No, honestly, Dan has been absolutely brilliant. He's been top class. I've felt so sorry for Dan as well, because he's had to sort of wait in the background for so long, and it's so tough to do that as well. And to be fair, when he's got his chance, he's been brilliant as well. Last week we went to watch the Cov game last week, and it was a horrible pitch. It was bobbling all over the place, and everything just stuck to him. He was absolutely top class, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper, somebody you can rely on, and that's what Dan's showing week in, week out at the minute.
Yeah. Well, let's bring it back to some more general goalkeeping chat now. And with that, Heurelho, I must ask you the question. Passing out from the back, discuss. Something that you liked getting to grips with as a goalkeeper? Or what's your opinion on it, Heurelho?
Look, if you are prepared to do it, you have to kick long. You have to kick long because, especially in this game, you know, you see that one mistake can make a huge difference for the team, and you have to think about the team. So clear it. You know? And of course, I can tell you that I was pretty much good in the head tennis. So unfortunately, when we used to play together, me and Ben, so it wasn't easy for Dan. So I'm very happy for Dan as well because he waited for a long time, and to keep the level of Ben, of course, he needs to be out there. You know, he needs to be on his best because Ben was doing a great job before he started to play. Very happy for him.
Well, I suspect a slight fracture to the goalkeepers union with the head tennis comment, but we'll get back to that again at half-time. Passing out of the back, Alec, how do you feel about it?
Well, obviously it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, that generation just
it's
before.
It's changed a little bit. I mean, they just got the lace out of the ball when I was playing. So, the back pass rule came in as I was sort of in the middle of my career, really. So it was tricky. And we didn't tend to sort of mess about with it. It was, we shoveled the ball furthest away from the goal was the best way for us. But things have changed. Obviously, the game's changed. It's moved on. Obviously, the foreign coaches, particularly Pep and people like that, have come in and shown that they want to play through from all the way from the goalkeeper. And Edison's unbelievable with it. I think that's fine for players of that, that like elite level. I just worry that.
But even with Addison, we saw the other day, you can be.
They can. Everybody's going to make mistakes with the passing out from the back because you can't always get it right. Look how many mistakes outfield players make. So they're asking goalkeepers to be midfield players at times. So I'm not convinced that it's always the right thing to do. But I think there's a place for it. I just think if a team's pressing high, play over the press. That's me personally.
I suppose for you, Ben, your career falls in line exactly with that transition, doesn't it? When, in your early days here at Watford compared to the style of football that you're playing now, it's very different in that respect.
It is, but even, season to season it changes as well, because you think last year we're in the Premier League and there's, you'd play out from the back if you could, but most of the time we're playing long, I'd be hitting it onto Troy Deeney, but in this league, teams are happy to just sit off and let us have the ball. So most of the time, you'll see today with Dan, it'll just be knocking it out to Will Troost-Ekong, and then Will have to try and then find that pass into the midfield. It is. It's very different, and it's completely evolved even throughout my career. The last 20 odd years. They just want to overdo it at times. I really do think they just want to overdo it at times, and there is a time and place for it, but no, I'd rather get it as far away from my goal as possible.
Yes. Well, on the subject of time, I wish we had longer with you, Heurelho Gomes, and with you both actually here in the studio, but I think we will have to leave it there. But it's been so great to see you virtually and to see that you're doing so well, and in Ben's words, you're looking fit and healthy as well. So no, it's been great to have you here. We miss you, and do stay in touch. We'll speak to you again soon.
Great to see you, Heurelho.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Mate.
Take care.
Bye,
mate.
Heurelho.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys, once again. Love you all.
See you, mate.
Take care.
Stop. Don't go anywhere. Click here for more videos.